Every year, travelers from across the United States and the world make Hampton Roads, Virginia their vacation destination. And why not? We are, after all, the birthplace of the United States, with historic sites such as Jamestown, Williamsburg, and Yorktown. But there's also a lot of history right here in Portsmouth, located in the heart of Hampton Roads. We'll look at some of that history and some of the events coming up this July and August, right here and right now, on this July-August episode of Portsmouth Now. Welcome to Portsmouth Now. I'm your host, Rob Lauer, and I'm standing here in beautiful Old Town Portsmouth. Old Town has the largest collection of historic homes anywhere north of Charleston, South Carolina, and south of Arlington. Now, why is this? I mean, Norfolk is just as old as Portsmouth. Well, look at our history. A lot of battles were fought here: the Revolutionary War, the Civil War. During the Revolutionary War, Norfolk, which had just as many buildings, if not more than Portsmouth, was actually seen as more of a threat by the British, so they burned it. Portsmouth remained untouched. During the Civil War, because of the shipyard, Union occupied the city shortly after the beginning of the war, and this was safe from all the battles during the Civil War. After the Civil War, because of the shipyard, there was a building boom. Lots of Victorian homes were built. And so you have historic homes on these streets and sidewalks dating from 1720 through the early 1900s. High Street is also the home of shops, restaurants, a movie theater, and museums. And then there is the Old Town Business Association, which is very active in promoting tourism and business in Old Town. We're going to go over to one of the parks here in Old Town, and we're going to talk to someone who will tell us about events that they're sponsoring this July and August. I'm joined by Nettie Fischer from the Old Town Business Association, and we are in Westminster Square, which is one of the several little park areas throughout Old Town. Nettie, the association is doing a lot of things now, really, to bring people down to Old Town, to let them take in the history, and tell us about some of the events coming up in July and August.
Thank you for having me again,
Thanks for
Rob.
being here again.
To come to Old Town and to be in Old Town is to love Old Town. So, you know, I'm a real cheerleader with the Old Town Business Association, as are all of our members. We have what we've created this year in partnership with the city of Portsmouth and with Ports Events. We have created Second Saturday in Old Town. So if you are in the area on Second Saturday in Old Town, you can expect additional activities and pleasures to enjoy. For example, the Second Saturday in Old Town in July, we begin the day with, as always on Saturday, the Farmers Market, it surrounds the Portsmouth Arts and Cultural Center, which is kind of a hub of much of what goes on at Second Saturday. We begin at 10 o'clock with a Japanese flower arranging demonstration by an instructor from Okinawa that the museum has brought in, and so you can come and you can learn how to arrange the Japanese way. They're quite lovely, and so that demonstration goes on through until 1 o'clock. And then if you just cross the street to the Visual Arts Center on the corner, the students at the Visual Arts Center that day will have a student art sale, and then there is the exhibit that is inside that you can go in, and it's I think really one of the better ones that they've had this year. It's quite good. At 10:30, you can bike the Cultural Arts District. So all I would say is come with your bike, come with your helmet, and Eco Cycling, which is one of the partners with OTBA, will give you a guided tour of the Cultural Arts District, and it's really about 3¼ miles, starting at High Street Landing. You go over to the Love Sculpture on the water, you go over to the Railroad Museum on the other side, you go all the way down to the Old Portsmouth Colored Museum and Library, and they actually open for you to go in and take a tour. So that is our most distant point. And then you come back and you're given your swag bag, and one of the local restaurants, Legends, which is another sponsor, has discounts for you if you would like to, if you'd like to sit and rest a while. So that starts at 10:30. Then at 1:30, the art curator of the museum, Gail Paul, will give a guided tour of the museum, of the most recent exhibit. We then go to the latter part of the day, which would be at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, we have a guided walking tour. It's a walk the art. So all of the public art that we have in Portsmouth, you can go on a walking tour, and all of this is free.
And we have installed a lot of public art in the last 5 or 6 years.
We absolutely have, with more to come.
More to come.
More to come. So we have much that you can see during that walking tour, and some things that you can't see any other place.
Yeah.
For example, the Fresnel lens, which has been reinstalled, is the only outdoor lens of that magnitude in the country. I mean, you're looking at a $1 million piece of work sitting there for people to go and look at. That is the 1 hour tour, and you leave from the museum, the Children's Museum, for the walking tour. It's about 1.25 miles, so, and it's in the latter part of the day. And then you always can end up the day in Old Town in the evening with music at many of the local restaurants. Will be having music in the afternoon and evening. Great food, fun music to listen to, and just a really fun time.
Wow, that's great. So then what date is that? It's the second Saturday in July.
That's the second Saturday in July, and then we have much to look forward to for the second Saturday in August, September, and October. And I know it's a lot, but you can see everything that's happening if you go on the Old Town Business Association, OTBA, Facebook page or website, and you can check it all out.
Okay, so just Google search the website and go there, and I know it's very well laid out and very user-friendly. You're a resident of Old Town. I wanted to ask, why are you here? I know you explaining before the camera started rolling that you're a Norfolk girl.
Norfolk girl,
moved away to New Jersey for a number of years.
Right.
And when you came back, you were looking for something very specific.
I wanted to be in a walking community, so I said, find me something in Ghent, a block off of Colley Avenue, multifamily, where I can get out and walk and have a very pleasant kind of in-city, out-of-city atmosphere. And when I looked, there was really nothing available. And my friend said, I want to take you over to Old Town. I said, Old Town? Portsmouth? You want me to live in Portsmouth? And she said, well, a lot has happened since you've been away. They've done a lot of improvement and development. So she brought me over to Old Town, and within 5 minutes of getting out of the car, walking on the old pavers, I said, this is home. It's where I want to be. It's the closest thing I'll ever have to Charleston and Savannah. And
it is.
It is, and it's a wonderful place to live.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing that with us. Don't just take her word for it. Come visit Portsmouth. Thanks, Nettie.
Thank you.
On the weekend of August 24th and 25th, the annual Seawall Art Show will take place here in Old Town. And here is someone who can tell us more about it. I'm joined by Clifford Harbin, who is the coordinator of this year's Seawall Art Show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about where we are, where we're standing right now.
We're standing in St. John's Church in Old Town Portsmouth Memorial Garden, where several people from our immediate neighborhood are buried, as well as members of our congregation. It was a memorial garden begun in 2012, but has been a garden in the city for quite some time, just for a place of contentment and relaxation and contemplation.
Nice breeze right now.
And a nice breeze right now.
That's great.
One of the hidden gems of Old Town.
Really, this is a great location. I mean, we have so many historic homes just over here that we can look at here as well. Okay, so this year's Seawall Art Show, for those who aren't familiar with the Seawall Art Show, tell us a little bit about it.
Seawall Art Show was started 49 years ago by the city to support the Portsmouth Museums and the Portsmouth Museum Foundation. It literally began on the seawall with paintings and art going down the seawall. It has moved then to the High Street landing because it was a little windy on the wall. And then when the seawall was under renovation 2 years ago, we were asked to move up the High Street. So this year we will be, for our 49th year, on the High Street between Court and the Town Bank.
Wow.
And we have about 65 to 70 artists. They will be everything from jewelry to potters to basket weavers to regular art with paintings. It is a juried show, which I didn't know what that meant until I got into this. A juried show means that if you are interested in being an artist and vendor, that you will show a committee your art to make sure that it's the standard that they want it to be. So it's not a craft show, it is a true fine art show that's been vetted by somebody else.
Okay. Now I know that like crafts, a lot of times people will like buy a fabric or buy something, but for it not to be a craft show, it's like everything that is on a piece of art has to be created by the artist from scratch. As it were. That's great.
By scratch. And we have everything, and we will also this year, like we did last year, have an exhibit of people making baskets and also a potter. So at one end is a potter, at the other end is a basket weaver, so you can actually see the art being produced. The other thing about it, although it's still called an art show, is that we have local bands. So all day Saturday the 24th and Sunday the 25th, and I hope those are the dates because I should have looked them up. They'll have music going as well. So it's kind of a festival atmosphere, but we get 6,000 to 10,000 people coming through Portsmouth to look at art for those 2 days. We also have a student art show. And so that is only on Saturday, but that to me is the most invigorating, is to see the students from Hampton Roads area who get into this show. And it too is judged. The art is judged. There's nice rewards for you can walk around on Sunday afternoon and see who won a ribbon.
That's right. All the kids can brag.
That's right. The kids can brag. The artists can brag. But it's, as I say, 49 years. It's been a very successful event in Portsmouth. It's our only art show, and we're very proud of the proceeds going to the Portsmouth Museum Foundation, and the continuation for next year's 50th, which hopefully will be bigger and better than this year.
That's great. If people want more information, is there a website that they go to?
There is. It's seawallartshow.org. Maybe .com. We're also on Facebook.
Okay.
So if you Facebook Seawall Art Show, it will come up. If you're an artist, I think there may be time for you to submit your work. That's up to Erlene Lampman, who's our artist coordinator, but there may be some time for that. But please come out and bring your money and buy some art that's local to Portsmouth and Hampton Roads.
Fantastic. Thanks for taking time from your schedule to tell us all about it.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you at the art show.
I will be there. As was mentioned earlier in an interview with Nettie Fischer, the old courthouse on the corner of High Street and Court Street, and now the home of the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center, is sort of the cultural hub of Old Town. Every Saturday morning in most months of the year from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Old Town Farmers Market. And now we're going to head over to there and we're going to talk to Terry Danaher, who is the director of the market. I'm sitting here in the courtyard of the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center with Terry Danaher, otherwise known as the Queen of the Old Town Portsmouth Market. You've been doing this for years, haven't you?
Oh, easily. I think this is my 9th year.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Who knew?
Well, you know, it's really sort of festive here. I mean, you've got the bunting up for like 4th of July already.
Right,
and,
right.
So what's happening down here every Saturday morning in July and August?
Well, actually, through December. We have a market here every Saturday during the summer season, which starts in May, actually. We run from 9 until 1. And then in the winter, we get cold in the morning, so we start at 10. But we're, you know, what can I say? We have a great crowd of vendors here. And we also have some nonprofits who join us on occasion. So we have the Master Gardeners who will give advice to everybody. And I am the person most in need of advice for growing things. Yeah. So far, they have helped me actually have a little herb pot that I haven't killed off yet, and some beautiful flowers that they planted and sold. And they sell herbs, they sell, you know, floral arrangements. During different seasons, they sell seasonal things. So they're terrific, and they have just reams of paper that they can give you about how to grow your tomato and how to can your tomato, and
really?
You know, yeah, and it's tomato season. So
you can buy some tomatoes.
You can, yes.
They can tell you how to can them.
Yes, I have not had great experience growing tomatoes myself, so I leave it up to the farmers here. And there are never enough tomatoes in the world. I love them, and this is a good time to buy because they're coming in now, and there'll be sort of a superabundance during the end of this, the beginning of next month. And that means there's plenty to can and freeze. I freeze things. I'm not good at canning either. There's a lot I'm not good at, which I depend on the market for, because there are other people here who sell things that I can't do. I don't do pickles, but I can buy pickles here, and they're wonderful. And so a lot of the produce that comes in then gets processed by other vendors here, who then sell the finished products, and they incorporate them into their baking, into their pickling and other canned items. So we have everything from fresh produce to stuff that is processed so that you can keep it on the shelf or in your refrigerator.
Great.
So it's really nice.
And baked goods too?
Oh yes, we have wonderful baked goods. We have a new bread person. They're on a break right now, but they make a very European style bread. And I lived in Germany for a very long time, and it's sort of, how did you get these recipes? They're just like Europe, They're really good. They're called Pilgrim, and as I said, they're on a little bit of a break right now, but they'll be back probably mid to end July.
Okay.
And we have pet food. It's not pet food, pet treats, and that includes treats for cats. A lot of times we'll just get dogs covered, but this includes cats too. They have catnip, they have all kinds of they have sprays, and they have treats, and they have little pillows and cushions and things treated with the catnip. And we have a pet photographer. Okay. So there's a studio, and they'll come on occasion. They're coming actually the 29th of June. And they'll be back again in July, and we're setting them up next to the pet treat people, so there's a kind of twofer going there. We have just a really large offering of beverages this time. We have 2 different coffee vendors. One of them does very modern takes on coffee, and the other one is more traditional. We have a tea vendor that sells yerba mate, I think it's called. And that is an amazing tea. It gives you some of a boost that coffee gives you. It's got a little energy. I know because I drank it before I went to bed, which was a big mistake. Don't do that. Don't drink it before you go to bed. It's delicious though, and they have several different blends, and you can taste it and then pick something to buy. Cool. And they sell it already in jars, prepared for you if you want, or you can buy it loose leaf tea. We also have another tea vendor coming. We have a lemonade vendor, and Sarah's Mint Lemonade, and it is a recipe from an old family recipe, and there are again different flavors. Sometimes it's strawberry season, so they'll mix strawberry in with it, or blueberries or blackberries, and it is wonderful. It is so refreshing, and it gets hot out here. Yeah. And
it does.
Yeah, it does. And it's just so nice to have something that you can sip as you walk along and shop. So we're really pleased with that. We have a new cheese vendor. It's called Creative Wedge, and they sell these marvelous dips and cheeses from all over Virginia. And we have a vendor called Precise Spice, and they also do precise portions, and they actually have plates that show you the kind of portion you should have of each of the different kinds of food groups on your plates to help you with your diet. And my husband was joking around about that. He said, here we are with this superabundance of food all around us, and you're giving us these plates that are small, and we've got we have all this food to pile on top of it. But it's actually very helpful. It's a really helpful measure, and their spices are great. They have different spice mixes. So we have vendors who come every Saturday, and we have some vendors who come once in a while. We have vendors who come maybe twice a month, that sort of thing. And we post who is here every Saturday morning, fairly early, around 9 o'clock. It goes up on our website, and we have a Facebook page. So our website is portsmouthfarmersmarket.com, and our website is Portsmouth Old Town Farmers Market. Our Facebook page is Portsmouth Old Town Farmers Market, and you can go there, and we have pictures, we have information about the vendors on our website and our Facebook page, so you can keep up and see. We even have people who do the sort of Instagram, Snapchat stuff who say, you know, let's meet at the market. And
but this really has become, I mean, really, the courtyard.
Yes.
I mean, it's located at Court Street and High Street. This really is sort of the social hub for Old Town in a lot of ways.
Yes, and people come in, they grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a cup of lemonade, something from one of the baked goods vendors.
And then you can always sit here.
Sit around here and enjoy the morning or the afternoon, whatever. So it's an excellent place. And a lot of people, they find out we have an art center here, and they come in and they explore that, and then they come back again.
Yeah.
And they go to our museums and our restaurants. And so it's actually a really nice magnet for people who are not familiar with the downtown here. And that includes a lot of Portsmouth people, actually, which is really interesting.
Yes, I know. Well,
yeah, we have quite a few people come up and say, "Are you here every Saturday?" And it's like, yeah, for the last 8 years we've been here every Saturday. This is our 9th year here every Saturday. You know, here we are. It's so fun. And where do you live? In Portsmouth. Okay. Well, welcome. Welcome to downtown.
So if you live in Portsmouth, don't let that be you. Come down here
Yes,
to
please.
the Farmers Market every Saturday morning from 9 to 1. You'll have a great time. I enjoy it. Really. Come on out.
Please do.
Thank you for joining us, Terry.
All right. Thank you. It was great. Thanks so much. Let's get people here.
The Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center, located in the old courthouse, is open throughout the year, and it is constantly changing displays and exhibits and offering classes and lectures. Here's Stephen Grunnett to tell us what's coming up in July and August. I'm joined by Stephen Grunnett from the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center. Welcome back to Portsmouth Now, Stephen.
Thank you very much, Rob.
So, this really is the courtyard. This is sort of a hub of activity for Old Town. So what takes place here on the first Friday of every month?
On the first Friday of every month through October, we have a free event, and if the weather is nice like it is today, we'll have music in the courtyard, and this is sponsored by Ports Events, the Portsmouth Partnership, and Town Bank, and we will have local bands play in the courtyard. And then it's an open house, so the museum exhibits are open, free to the public. We'll have refreshments and food and drink, and our gift shop, of course, is open. We have a fantastic gift shop. It's as much a destination as is this museum, with lots
most
of
things there are made by local artists.
Exactly, yeah. And if we have artists in the galleries, a lot of times they'll sell work in the shop as well. And then, of course, every first Saturday following the first Friday, we are open free again, and we'll usually have music during the morning market. So surrounding the courtyard we're sitting in, there's a farmer's market every Saturday from about 9 to 1. And on the first Saturday, we'll have some kind of another local band or performer playing jazz saxophone music, or a lot of times we'll have the Rhythm Project playing the steel pan drums. And sometimes we'll focus on the exhibits as well. We have a free event coming up where it's not on the first weekend though, and it's for July. And it relates to the exhibit we have on the second floor called As Above, So Below. And one of the artists in that exhibit, or two artists, it's a husband and wife team, John Littleton and Kate Vogel. And John Littleton is the son of Harvey Littleton. Now, Harvey Littleton started the American Glass Studio movement. He kind of did to glass art what Frank Lloyd Wright did to architecture in this country. So that's a big name. So John Littleton is one of his sons. This is his fifth son. This is going to be on July 20th.
July 20th.
The exhibit closes on the 21st, so this is kind of a closing ceremony. And then it's John Littleton and Kate Vogel that collaborate on these sculptures that are inspired by Ikebana. So the stems and the leaves are cast bronze or welded bronze, and then these blooms, these huge scale flower blooms, are cast glass. And they're beautiful sculptures, and the whole exhibit is fantastic. And then downstairs we just opened Through the Fire, which is an exhibit featuring women veteran artists. And so these are all women who met in a workshop we had here in 2016 for veterans, and they became friends, and then proposed the group show here, and so we helped them to organize that, and that's going to be going on through July and August, as well as a new exhibit that opens of photography. After the upstairs exhibit is closing, we will open a photography exhibit called Narration Location, which is a lot of regional artists, but artists from other parts of this country as well, that focus on a certain part of their world or country, and they'll photograph this, and then it kind of tells the story of the place and time that they are focusing on in their photographic work.
So what days are you open?
We are open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 5, excuse me, from 10 to 5. On Sunday, we are open, but we're only open from 1 to 5.
Okay.
So it's a little bit shorter day, but we're also open holidays. So on the 4th of July, we'll be open. Labor Day will be open. So we want to be
coming down here for something on the holiday event.
We want to be open when people are out and about.
Yeah.
So that's the idea.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your schedule to tell us about it. And be sure to check out the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center. Located on High Street, about a block from the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center, and within walking distance of the ferry landing at the end of High Street, is the Children's Museum of Virginia. We're going to head over and we're going to talk to Andre Burton from the museum's exhibit department. He's going to tell us about the exhibits that are on display there and the other programs that the museum offers. I'm joined by Andre Burton from the Children's Museum of Virginia. Welcome back to Portsmouth Now, Andre.
Hi, how you guys doing today?
Good to have you here. For those who maybe are not familiar with the Children's Museum of Virginia, can you tell us a little bit about it?
We've been around here for a little bit. We had some renovations done to our exhibits the past maybe 5 or 6 years. So we've got some newer additions to it that we're still everybody's still getting used to. Some of the groups and some of the schools and summer camps around here haven't got a chance to see it yet, so they're still filing in and seeing some of our new stuff. But we also have traveling exhibits coming in and out. So we've got one right now that started at the beginning of summer, Memorial Day. It's going into Labor Day. So we've always got something short. We got the short-term stuff going on, and we've got some long-term exhibits that people are still getting in to see.
Okay. So I know the museum is divided into different areas. Can you tell us about what some of those areas are?
Well, yeah, we kind of do it by, I guess you could say, age group. We have like a certain area for tots, and we have our train layout, which is kind of for, that kind of kindergarten age. And we also have some exhibits upstairs that deal with like physics and some of the more scientific and mathematic, more in-depth aspects of some of the.
That's like a circus theme.
Yeah, we've got a Dr. Force. This is like a carnival, like a traveling circus or a traveling carnival type thing. We've got all types of parts of that exhibit, and it kind of ties into the carnival theme. So it's really interesting. That's a lot of people's favorite stop. They always go up there. Some of our members, when they come in, they have their favorite spots, and a lot of people's favorite spots is upstairs and the Dr. Forces and everything. So.
But then there's like a cottage and a yard that's for like nature.
Yeah, we have a thing called My Backyard. So we kind of take a snapshot of everyday like your neighbor's backyard, but we kind of we use a microscope and we zoom in on it. So you got all the animals and the insects in the backyard or everything. We got it zoomed in, so it's life size almost. You can kind of really get right up close to it and get your hands on it and touch everything. So lots of people like that. It's like a hands-on experience, so stuff that maybe you don't pay attention to on a day-to-day. So lots of our visitors, our younger visitors, like that because they can put their hands on stuff. So
there's a bubble room.
There is a bubble room. That is the children.
Everyone loves that.
Visitors from all ages. That is one of our main drawing points. Lots of people like to step inside a bubble. We have tiny bubbles. You can make tiny bubbles and learn how what goes in a bubble, what exactly a bubble
Science
is.
of bubbles.
And then, but also, if you just want to have fun, and we have a huge step in a bubble, so you can make a bubble that could fit a person in there. So it's really crazy, but everybody likes that part. That really, everybody always remembers the bubble room when they come by.
And when you first come in, there's like a miniature-sized version of the Port of Virginia.
Right. Yeah, actually, that's another aspect of our exhibits is we take in real life, our surroundings and everything regionally and locally, and we try and tie it into our exhibits. So it goes more into us giving a chance for people and visitors to put their hands on things and get an up close and personal view, but also that authenticity of having something very real that you can take in the museum and apply it to outside in the real world.
There's a banking area in the grocery store.
Right, we've also just got the new Wegmans grocery store in. So we working with Wegmans, and they came in and put their hands on that, and it really looks really great. They upgraded a lot of stuff, but it's still familiar. So the members and some of the visitors that have been here before, it's still familiar, but we've upgraded it. So
you know, you mentioned the train collection earlier. I'm sure there are a lot of adults and older adults who probably come in to see that because
Absolutely.
that's so spectacular. And there's the antique toys that are linked, and those are sort of used strategically decorating throughout the museum.
Absolutely. We've got the antique, some of our cars for some of the trains. We've had, they've been around for decades, and we have them. And we've been keeping them, we've taken care of them, we've polished them up, we've had to refurbish certain things, but they're in really good condition. And then we've got some of the world's oldest toys. So just some of the, a lot of things that have been a part of traveling exhibits and other exhibitions, we've been able to take a part of and kind of add it to ours. And so I think that that's really cool, that it just goes along with it. We've been able to take this region and really make this museum kind of, I don't know how to explain it. We definitely tap into our region, and it's got a lot of character because of that.
Now, all of the exhibits are all tied into the SOLs too.
Right.
So that's why you have groups coming in throughout the year, school groups and all. But it's fun. I mean, the feeling here is almost sort of like coming into a theme park in a sense. You walk in and it's...
Yeah, I definitely can see that. It's got that aspect of it. It's got that energy to it of a theme park, a lot of excitement going on, and lots of people coming in and out at the same time. We can handle a lot of people in here, but also it does have the educational feel to it. People are constantly learning. We're constantly putting educational materials in front of people, in front of our visitors. But it works hand in hand. The excitement and the educational aspects work hand in hand, and it's a really good experience, a strong experience on both sides of it. So. You're preparing for the SOLs, and you don't even know you're preparing for the SOLs because you're having a good time doing it. So
now there are special hours, July and August. During the school year, you have one set of hours. Now that we're in July and August, what are the hours here?
From Memorial Day until Labor Day, we have our summer hours. So basically, we just open up an extra day during the week. So normally throughout the school year, we're closed on Mondays. So, but for the summer holiday, we'll be open on Mondays, so we can take all visitors in. Yep, all our visitors. We have summer camps going on throughout the whole summer. So we've got full day summer camps, and then we've got half day. And then we're just going to be having different things moving in and out throughout the whole summer. So hopefully the visitors will have a chance to stop by on the days that we're open. We're normally not, like on Mondays. So.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us again, telling us about everything. And if you have not checked out the Children's Museum of Virginia, come to Old Town Portsmouth. Really, there's nothing like it in the state. Besides historic Old Town, Portsmouth is also home to a number of city parks, including 2 that are wildlife preserves. We're going to go talk to the Director of Parks and Recreations and Leisure Services, and he's going to tell us about the parks and also some of the other events that are taking place throughout the city during the months of July and August. Mark, welcome back to Portsmouth Now.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
I know that summer is your busiest time.
It is.
Tell us a little bit, for those who have not been to Portsmouth, or even residents who maybe have not really taken advantage of all the parks in the city, but there are a number of parks now.
There are. We have over 40 total throughout the city if you count neighborhood and pocket parks. But of course, City Park is our signature park. It's our largest park. So many amenities out there. I hope I don't forget everything that we have. Of course, we have the tennis courts, we have the playgrounds. There's a fishing pier out there, which you do not need a fishing license for. The pier itself is licensed. We have our boat ramp out there. We also have a skate pad. And then people take advantage of our picnic shelters for rentals.
Yeah. And it's beautiful too. It's a beautiful, beautiful Elizabeth River.
It is a large park, beautiful park, a lot of green space, and of course, yes, right along the Elizabeth River. And then additionally out there, we have our 9-hole course, golf course, City Links. Great for beginners. If you're a little bit afraid or not sure how good you are, come out to that course. It's great, it's easy, it's open. Don't have to worry about too many trees or anything like that. And then in addition to that, we do have a driving range out there too to hone your skills.
Great. Now we have a couple of, I guess, nature reserves too, preserves in the city too. Can you tell us about those? Those are probably the newer of the bigger parks.
That is true, yes. So our 3 biggest parks are City Park, and then Hoffler Creek Wildlife Preserve over in the Churchland area. has walking trails, kayaking. You can go out for bird watching or animal watching as well. And then just a host of other programs that they offer, throughout the months. More information can be found on their website at hofflercreek.org. And then our newest park, 40-acre park, Paradise Creek Nature Park off of Victory Boulevard. Again, handicap walking trails, kayaking. We have a newly installed playground as well for the little ones, and just a host of programs that they have out there.
And that is really such a unique spot too, because you see all the urban development, and yet there's this wooded preserve, and there's kayaking and all of this right in the middle of this urban area.
Yes, our nice little piece of nature right in the middle of the city. It's really neat to see.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So now the department has a number of activities coming up in July and August. So you want to tell us about those?
We do. So we're just coming off a successful Umoja Festival that happened in May, and then in June we started our Sunset Thursday concert series. It's every Thursday down at High Street Landing from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every week we host a different local band to come out and provide free musical entertainment. Of course, we have our food vendors out there and beverage vendors for purchase. And it's just a great time. We usually get anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people out there. Yeah, it's really well attended.
Party in the middle of the week.
It is. It's very nice. Get a kickstart to your weekend.
That's great. That's
yes.
great.
And then, of course, July is right around the corner. We have our annual Stars and Stripes Forever concert. That is on Thursday, July 4th, again down at High Street Landing. It'll be from 7:30 to 9, and we are featuring the Tidewater Concert Band. And then right after they're done playing, of course, we get ready for the fireworks show. And then piggybacking on that, 2 days later, July 6th, we have our 3rd annual Shaggin' on High event. That is a tribute to Bill Deal and beach music. That'll be at the intersection of High Street and Court Streets. Again, we'll have food and beverages out there for purchase, and we'll even have a dance floor out there for those people that like beach music and like to do some shag dancing.
In the middle of the street?
In the middle of the street, yes. And that's from 4 to 7:15 p.m. that day.
That's great. All right.
Yes.
Anything coming up for August right now?
In August, yeah, right at the start of August, we partner with the Coast Guard and Road Rage events. Of course, Portsmouth is a Coast Guard city.
Right.
And we have our annual 5K, 10K on August 3rd. The 10K starts at 7 a.m. with the 5K right after that, roughly around 9 a.m. And usually get a good turnout for that. For anyone interested in registering, they can go to roadrageevents.com.
Okay, great. Well, fantastic. Well, it sounds like you're busy.
We are very busy, yes.
But thanks for taking time out of your schedule and telling us all about it.
Thanks, Rob.
Well, that's it for our show today. If you'd like more information about any of the events that we've discussed on today's show, or any of the other dozens of events taking place throughout the months of July and August, simply log on to www.portsvaevents.com. And then come to Portsmouth, where if you give us a day, we'll give you a vacation. I'm Rob Lauer. Join me next time for our September-October episode of Portsmouth Now.